23. Talked about it. What is the fruits and vegetables because of availability of water and loans to purchase the imports. Okay. Next, to what extent do you think this is beneficial to the farmers? Shifting from food crops to cash crops is beneficial to farmers as it increases the economic status of the farmers. Now, what is it? The farmers are able to earn more and more money. It is increasing their status, improving their lifestyle. Okay, they are able to lead a better life. Will this create some problems? Well, let's see, yes or no. Okay, yes. In the long run, it definitely will create problem. Why you think it will create problem? If all the farmers start producing only sugarcane and fruits and vegetables, then where will we get rice and wheat and dal? It will become difficult, right? So, we should not allow this. Okay, the food shortage will be there if they start only growing cash crops and not food crops. Okay, the fertility of the soil also will be affected. So, what we studied is, if we grow the same crop on that piece of land, the soil becomes less fertile, because the same plant is grown there and it uses the same minerals. So, we have to spend a lot of money to renew the fertility of the soil. But if we grow different types of crops throughout the year, what happens to the soil? It recharges its fertility and helps the plant to grow well. Okay, cattle will not get fodder. So, cattle also will not get. What do the cattle eat? They eat the fodder from the paddy fields, from the wheat fields. Okay, that is their food. That is called fodder. And cow dung and other biofertilizers also may disappear, leading to the loss of fertility of land. So, this is a problem we will face if we grow more of cash crops and stop growing food crops. So, here is the pictures of fodder, and this is called cow dung. Okay, now let us continue with the land ownership and tenancy. Now, what is the land ownership and tenancy? That means how many farmers in that village own land, and how much of land do they own, and how is the distribution of land done in that particular village. Okay, there are about 750 families in Penakuru. 10 of them have 10 acres of land or above. 150 families have land below 5 acres and the rest have no land at all. Okay, they either take the land on lease from the other landlords or work as laborers on their farms. Okay, so this is the way that the land is distributed in this village. So, there are very few rich farmers. Most of them are nominal farmers and the rest of them are landless farmers. All right. So, they work in the other fields which are owned by other farmers. People of different castes and professions live in this village. So, not only farmers, but people of different caste and professions, okay, different jobs. The main village is inhabited by landlords, so rich farmers. Okay. The others live in the nearby area on the banks of the canal and towards the south of the village. In the middle of the village, we can find kirana shops, we can find the RMP, the doctors, the medical shops, iron, welding shops and banks and etc. And here is how the houses in the village they look. Okay, this is the picture of the village. Now, animal rearing. What do we mean by animal rearing? Breeding and taking care of animals is known as animal rearing. Now, why do we need animals? Okay, all the land in the village are cultivated and there is not much land for grazing cattle. What do you mean by grazing? They keep a certain piece of land for growing grass. Now, these animals need grass because they are herbivorous animals and they only eat grass. So, they need a place where the grass grows, that is called grazing the cattle. Okay. Only a few bullocks, cows, buffaloes and sheep are reared for working on the fields and for other purposes. Okay, so here is a picture of these, and you know what they are. You know cows, you know sheep, you know bullocks, you know buffaloes. On the banks of the Bandar Canal, about 20 basket weaving families live. So they have a profession, not only farmers, but they have basket weavers who live along the canal. They migrated to this village for work. Okay, their main occupations are making basket, catching rats and rearing pigs. Oh, so they do, what do? They make baskets, they catch rats and rearing of pigs. That means they grow and they sell pig meat in the market. Okay, you find two people, okay, the villagers. One who collects the date palm strands and makes baskets, and the other one is catches fish with the help of the basket traps. Okay, Jagannanna Nancharya, okay, collects date palms, strands and makes basket. His neighbor Katta Shivaya catches fish with the help of basket traps. So let's have a look at those pictures. So these are the palm leaves with which they make the baskets, and this is how they make those fish traps using the baskets, okay, to catch the fish. And this is rearing of the pigs. The village has a poultry, okay, and they have mechanized poultry farms. Okay, water is supplied through nipples and food is supplied through conveyors. So they have drops which, you know, the water keeps dropping, so these birds can drink the water, and they have a conveyor belt which keeps supplying food for these birds in the poultry. There are about 80,000 hens in this poultry, and they lay about 50,000 eggs each day. These eggs are sent to Vijayawada and states like Assam and Bihar through agents. Okay, the chicken droppings is sold as fish feed to the farmers in the nearby areas. So what do we mean by droppings? Okay, which they, the bathroom which they, you know, these birds, they drop whatever they eat, isn't it? So that is called as droppings. These are the bird droppings which comes out from them, you know, as toilet is called droppings. Okay, we call them droppings. So here is the bird, and these dropping is the food for the fish. So they feed the fish. It's a good nutritious food for the fish, and the fish are fed by these droppings. And these droppings also used for the purpose of natural manure for the fields. Okay, plays a very important role. Then you have a rice mill in the village. Okay, there is a rice mill in this village. The owner of this rice mill purchased paddy from the farmers. Poultry and rice mills are based on agriculture and therefore are called agro industries. Why they are called agro? Agro industries are those industries which are dependent on agricultural products as raw material. Okay, we have different types of industries, agro industries, mineral industries. So this is called agro industry because it depends on raw material from agriculture, like sugarcane. Factory is an agro industry because sugarcane comes from nature. So from the agricultural products like cotton, okay, and sugarcane and all these rice mills, they all depend on the directly on the farm products as raw materials. It is easy to get the necessary raw materials and transport the product to distant markets. Okay, so there is a rice mill in this village. The owner of this rice mills purchase paddy from the farmers. Poultry and rice mills are based on agriculture and therefore are called agro industries. It is easy to get the necessary raw materials and transport the product to distant markets. Now here is the picture of the rice mill, the basket making and the poultry farm. Road and transport and markets. Okay, the road network in this area is well. Provides good connectivity to many towns and cities. It helps in marketing the produce. The farmers of the village sell sugarcane in the nearby sugar factory. The vegetables and bananas are supplied to the Raitu Bazaar, and paddy is sold in the fields itself through brokers. So these rice, farmers, they don't go to the market. It is sold in the field itself. Brokers come to the field and they buy the paddy from the farmers. Now, availability of labor. Most of the villagers are employed in this village itself. So all of them work in their own village. Some laborers come from the surrounding village. The youth who have studied 10th or above work as electricians, auto drivers and mechanics. Okay, so here you see the auto, they carry vegetables to the Raitu Bazaar. So they do this kind of odd jobs are done mainly by the villagers. So most of the villagers are employed in all the activities that is happening in the village. So today we have learned about the village in the Krishna Delta, which talks about the fertility and production of food crops in the village of Penakuru.